Well, church, good evening. Happy Maundy Thursday. This evening, those of us who are at our in-person service are going to be here in this space. But really, we're going to be in that upper room with Jesus, spending time having communion together, eating together, singing, and washing feet, just like Jesus and the disciples did in the upper room on Maundy Thursday. The problem is that kind of service, it just doesn't translate well to virtual or to watching online the way you're watching right now. And so as we thought about what to do here, rather than have you kind of be almost like a peeping Tom through the window while we did things, I wanted to do something for you. Now, as I thought through what that could be, I recalled a couple years ago when we were in the midst of the COVID pandemic, having to wrestle with how to convey the reality of Maundy Thursday to people who could not gather together. And I went back and watched it, and actually, I forgot most of what I said, and I'm kind of proud of myself, to be perfectly honest. And I know many of you who are virtual with us are new these last few years and maybe weren't part of this church when I did that video. And so with your permission, rather than have you just kind of watch the rest of us celebrate, I'd rather do something that I think can truly bless you as we move a little closer to Easter, but pause this Maundy Thursday evening. Take a look.
It's been a long walk. Bring me your feet, tender from the journey. Let me care for you. Sit with me. Rest. Friends, there is something I must go through, a path I must follow, a way of life I have been asked to reveal. Fear has gone viral. People are hungry and bloodthirsty. They're calling for my life, and I will deliver. But I am not leaving you alone. I give you to one another to love and to cherish. There is nothing more important. This is my parting gift, a holy meal. Take a cup of my essence and a handful of bread. Let us bless the richness of God's love, the deep well of divine mercy, and the gift of being. I hope that you remember me. Remember us. Come and take and eat and share. Share with everyone. Call them to the upper room. Give them a seat at the table. Pray with them in the garden. Pass on all that I've given to you. Give it all away. Come and take and eat. Come and take and eat. Come and take and eat.
So you probably don't know it, but this is where I eat lunch most days. Just kind of nice to get out of my office, have a little change of scenery. Also, the microwaves are nearby, so go up, heat up the food, have a seat right here, just eat my lunch. Nice little break in the day, you know? A lot of you probably have a similar routine, either at your office or home or wherever you are, right? Get a good meal, have a seat, eat it, get back to work. It's weird, though. That practice of just having a meal by ourselves, it's so common to us. It would have been so weird to most people throughout human history. Eating alone, it was a privilege reserved for the wealthy and the powerful, or it was a burden to be endured by people who were traveling alone. But most of the time, if you were going to eat, you needed to get the food, but you needed to get company too. I don't know, there's just something special about being around a table together. And of course, we can't do it in this pandemic. That's been one of the hardest parts about this pandemic. We can't gather like we used to, and we've missed it. And so I thought on this Maundy Thursday, when we hear the story of Jesus at the Last Supper, that we take some time, since we can't gather the way we want to, let's take some time and remember what exactly we gather for, what we do, and what God does when we gather. All so that when the day finally comes, whenever it is, when we can finally do all this right, we'll appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I know it'll be nice to see each other and talk and hug and all that kind of stuff, but there's more that goes on around tables than that, especially when you're talking about Jesus' table. So let's dive deep today. In fact, let's do some table hopping today. This will be stop number 1, but I'm going to invite you to follow me as we go from table to table, talking and exploring what exactly Jesus, through the Spirit, does in us and through us. I'm going to have some company here too. A couple years ago, we had a musical duo called the Lone Canary join us for worship, and everyone loved them, and they loved hanging out with us. And they can't travel. They've been doing at-home concerts called the Caged Canary. They agreed to be here with us virtually for our music, and so I'm really grateful to Jesse and Heather for their help in what we're trying to do tonight. So, pull up a chair on your couch or maybe at your table and follow me as we explore all that God is doing and is getting ready to do in our lives.
Hey, First United Methodist. Good to see you again. I'm Heather.
I'm Jesse.
And we are the Lone Canary, and we visited you. You hosted us in 2019. We got to worship with you guys and spend some time with you. Yeah, we were touring at the time. And we miss you, and hopefully we can come and see you again. And happy Holy Week. We hope that these songs can just help you get into a time of worship and leading up to Easter. And we hope you guys have a great Easter.
Spoken word, you were singing over me. You've been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You've been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Hear these words from the Gospel of John. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. After he had washed their feet and had put on his robe and had returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another."
Well, it's not decorated or prepared, but this is it. Every time we celebrate communion in this sanctuary, this is the table we use. And I say it every time. This table is not ours. It's not mine. It's not yours. Not the churches, not the denominations, none of that. Every time we say, this is Jesus' table. That's why anyone can come. You walk in the doors of the church, you can come to this table, no questions asked. In fact, as Methodists, we believe that this table, by the power of the Holy Spirit, is actually an extension of the same table Jesus sat at when he joined with his disciples and celebrated in that upper room, where he took bread and called it his body, where he took wine and called it his blood, and said, "This is for you." Now, I've told you before, passages of Scripture like this, they need a little bit of a southern translation to really understand. See, Jesus isn't just saying, this is for you, you alone. He's not even saying, this is for you who are in this room with me. No, the best translation is, this is for all y'all. Everyone in that upper room, everyone who comes to this specific table, but everyone, everywhere, every when. Jesus' table is for all. Because what Jesus is offering at that table is for all too. His body, his blood, what they are given to us for is our salvation. And we've taken time this Lenten season to explore what that salvation means. And the list is long. It's having the weight of shame lifted from us. It's having the stain of sin washed from us. It's being reconciled to each other. It's being made into a new creature and being freed from the powers that oppress us. It's all of that and so much more. That's what Jesus offers at this table. And so that's what we receive when we come. But once we've received it, you know what? You know what our job is next? To pass it on. Our job, once we've had a seat at this table, is to pull up another chair and invite whoever hasn't sat down yet to sit and find their place. And if they're not here, well then, it's our job to take this table and move it. Move it to where people are. Which means, as important as this table is, it's time to go to the next one.
Your grace is here with me. The richness of
One of the dinner guests, on hearing this, said to him, "Blessed is anyone who will eat bread in the kingdom of God." Then Jesus said to him, "Someone gave him a great dinner and invited many. At the time for the dinner, he sent his slave to say to those who had been invited, 'Come, for everything is ready now.' But they all alike began to make excuses. The first said to him, 'I have bought a piece of land, and I must go out and see it. Please accept my regrets.' Another said, 'I have bought the 5 yoke of oxen, and I am going to have to try them out. Please accept my regrets.' Another said, 'I have just been married, therefore I cannot come.' So the slave returned and reported this to his master. Then the owner of the house became angry and said to his slave, 'Go out at once into the streets and lanes of the town and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame.' And the slave said, 'Sir, what you ordered has been done, and there is still room.' The master said to the slave, 'Go out into the roads and lanes and compel people to come in, so that my house may be filled. For I tell you, none of those who were invited will taste my dinner.'" Thank you.
You know, I used to think this parable was about heaven, about how some people are just too prideful or caught up in the things of this world to accept God's invitation to eternity. And it is. It is about that. But I've come to realize recently, this parable is about our world too. You know, it's no secret that churches in America these days, they're not quite packed the way they used to be. Most are smaller, much smaller. And I've heard more than a few pastors and laity bemoan that change and, long for the good old days. I've seen more than a few programs designed to get people back in church. It suddenly occurs to me why so many of those programs fail. It's because that the people they want back are the people they used to have. People who fit in, talked like they did, looked like they did, had the same amount of money they did. Very few have tried to pack the pews with just anybody. Not us. It was a long journey to get there, but if you had come to this space, this fellowship hall, any Wednesday before the pandemic hit, you would have seen it full. Not of the who's who, not of the connected people, not of the wealthy, of anybody. Anyone could just walk in, sit down, and have a place. When I would come, I'm the pastor, but I wouldn't preach. I wouldn't serve. I'd sit and eat. And people who you might think would be here just for a handout, they were the first ones to jump up and put chairs away or serve the food. There's no difference here. There's no greater or lesser. There's no in and out. There's no us and them. Not here. Of course, we haven't been able to do things that way since the pandemic hit. We can't have people around the tables. We have to put the food all lined up on one long table, invite people in one door, have them follow each other in line, pick up the food, pick up a drink, and then take it home to eat it. And that's good. It is. People still need food. People still need fed. People are still hungry. But the question we keep getting every week, this whole pandemic, is when can we come back? Not come back for food. They're getting that. Come back to the table. Come back to a place where everyone can sit down and be heard and share, be themselves and be loved. I don't know when that's going to happen, except to say as soon as possible. But I do know that when we do, it'll be just like heaven, just like Jesus said it should be. I can't wait.
Just to rest upon precious Jesus. Oh, for grace to trust in Lord. And I'm so glad I learned to trust thee, precious Jesus, Savior, friend. And I know that thou art with me, will be with me to the end. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I prove him o'er and o'er. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust him more. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I prove him o'er and o'er. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust him more.
But when I, the Messiah, shall come in my glory, and all the angels with me, then I shall sit upon my throne of glory. And all the nations shall be gathered before me, and I will separate the people as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats, and place the sheep at my right hand and the goats at my left. Then I, the King, shall say to those at my right, Come, blessed of my Father, into the kingdom prepared for you from the founding of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me water. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your homes. Naked, you clothed me. Sick and in prison, and you visited me. Then these righteous ones will reply, Sir, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you anything to drink, or a stranger and help you, or naked and clothe you? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you? And I, the King, will tell them, When you did it to these my brothers, you were doing it to me. Then I will turn to those on my left and say, Away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. For I was hungry, and you wouldn't feed me, thirsty, and you wouldn't give me anything to drink, a stranger, and you refused me hospitality, naked, and you wouldn't clothe me, sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me. Then they will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and not help you? And I will answer, when you refuse to help the least of these my brothers, you were refusing to help me. And they shall go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into everlasting life.
You know, Jesus is always calling people out of their comfort zones. From the very first time he told the disciples to follow him and leave their nets, to when he sent them to towns 2 by 2 on their own, to finally at the very end, when he was ready to go to heaven, he sent them to the very ends of the earth. You know, it's always important that we welcome anybody, that we open our doors, that we, create room at our table. But there's some people that won't hear that invitation. There's always going to be people who maybe don't trust that invitation, trust that they'll really be welcome. or people who just have too many hurdles to overcome to even get there. When it comes to those people, it's our job to go, to leave our space and our comfort zone and meet them where they are. That's why I'm in this van, because every time school is not in session, volunteers load up here, church members and not church members, and they load up a bunch of books and a whole bunch of food, and they go. They take it to where the need is. They find kids who are at risk for hunger, and they go to their neighborhoods. One of the most vital volunteers is a bus driver who's gotten to see these kids and know these kids, and it's opened up so many doors. Let them meet people they wouldn't have met otherwise. Get them to neighborhoods they wouldn't have gone to otherwise. It's not easy work. It's humbling work. It's uncomfortable work. But it's necessary work. Because God's table is for all. And that means when someone can't make it there, we have to take the table to them. It's no accident that that ministry is called Children's Table, because it's theirs. God invited them. And God called us to go, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit those in prison. Jesus said, as you do to the least of these, you do to me. Every time school's out, we move in, because that's what Jesus told us to do.
Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I prove him o'er and o'er. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace, we trust him more. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I prove him more and more. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace, we trust him
Well, I bet you never thought we'd wind up here. I'm here at Jarfly Brewery. I think it's probably the first time I've ever preached or spoken in a brewery before. But this is the perfect place for us to end. You know, United Methodists in general, we're not in total agreement on the role of alcohol in our lives. Some think it's okay to drink responsibly. Others feel like that's not right for them. But you know what? Come the first or maybe sometimes second Sunday evenings of every month, you'll find both groups right here. And you'll find both groups here because one of our members, Tommy Kate, gets some friends together and sets up shop right behind where I'm sitting, and they host Gospel Hour here at Jarfly Brewery. And they sing, and they play, and they hand out song sheets so everyone else can sing if they want to, and it's quite the thing to behold. You know, you'll see people, they're not singing on key. I'm definitely not. Not all of them know the words. They're looking at the song sheet trying to follow along, but there's something about the music. Whatever you may believe, whether you identify as Christian or not, or go to church or not, there's something about singing together in this space. It's infectious. You can't not do it. You can't not have a smile on your face when Tommy and his friends are singing. And it's perfect. Jesus himself never shied away from a party, wherever it was and whoever was involved, to the point where the respectable people in town started calling him a glutton and a drunkard for all the people and places he was and hung out with. I'm okay having that reputation if Jesus had it. That means I get to gather with people, playing and singing and having a good time. That's fine with me. In fact, I've missed this because I used to bring my daughter here. She's only 3 now. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know any of the people. But she knew the music was good, and she knew people were smiling and singing, and so she couldn't help it. She'd run around, say hi, and dance the night away. That's what happens. That's what happens when we take Jesus' table and push it out. Not just invite people in, but push it out wherever, whenever we can. When we bring the life and the joy and the love to wherever we can. What happens is people don't just want to have a seat. They don't just want to eat or drink. They don't just want to talk and be listened to. They want to sing and dance. It's a little bit of heaven on earth. It's a little bit of God's kingdom right here. It's the whole point of what Jesus did, was to give us life and life abundant. That is what we find at Jesus' table, whether it's a communion table in a sanctuary or a table in a brewery or a church van driving out. Wherever it is, there is life and life abundant. As we move into reopening, as we get these parts of our life back, let's not forget what they're really here for. They're gifts, they're blessings for us to revel in and enjoy and to bring other people to. Thanks for being with me this evening. I invite you, if you feel safe, to join us in person tomorrow, Good Friday at 7 p.m., or you can watch from home. We'll stream it virtually as well. Thank you for being with me during this Maundy Thursday evening. I'll see you tomorrow.